Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty fascinating, how really visible families, well, manage their image, their brand equity across generations. And we're doing it through the lens of a birthday party.
That's right. Our source material is this incredibly detailed account of Dream Kardashian's 9th birthday. And it's not just a summary, it's like a hyper-specific inventory. We get the visuals, the logistics, everything.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack that, to look beyond just, oh, a birthday party, and see what this curated public display of affection really tells us about the family, about the next generation.
Yeah, we're treating it like a document. What is the inventory of attendees, the aesthetics, the specific messages shared? What does all that mean in this context? It's not accidental documentation.
Okay, so let's dive in. First, the basics, the who, what, when.
Right. So the event was for Dream Kardashian turning 9. That was on Monday, November 10th. And the source notes she's now 1 year away from double digits. A little milestone marker there.
And her parents, of course, Rob Kardashian and Angela White, who, previously went by Blac Chyna. That's the sort of historical family structure.
But the celebration itself, the documentation, it shows us the operational structure, who was actually present and highlighted.
And that brings us to the attendees shown, primarily captured by Khloe Kardashian, Rob's sister, and who was front and center in those snaps, her cousins, True, who's 7, and Tatum, who's 3.
And this is key right away. Khloe, she's 41. She's the main documentarian here, using her Instagram stories. By focusing it on the cousins, True and Tatum, it immediately frames the narrative around, well, unity.
Yeah, it reinforces that positive, stable cousin bond.
Exactly. Kind of sidesteps any potential complexities around Dream's parents and grounds the whole thing in this immediate, warm, kid-focused family unit. True and Tatum are the perfect supporting cast for that story.
That makes a lot of sense, prioritizing the current unity for the public narrative. Okay, so let's move on to the visuals, because this is where the curation really pops. The aesthetics, the specific activities they chose to show.
Yeah, the details are very deliberate. Chloe's first snap, it showed a table, right? And it had rose gold and gold confetti scattered on it, plus hot pink party hats.
That rose gold and gold confetti, I noticed that too. It's not exactly typical 9-year-old primary colors, is it?
Not at all. It feels very aligned with the current, kind of luxury aesthetic the family promotes across their other brands. It takes pink, a kid color, but makes it sophisticated. Marketable, even.
Yeah, it elevates it, signals taste, signals wealth, even in just a quick picture.
Precisely. And then the balloons, the big number 9, naturally, stars. But crucially, Hello Kitty's face was prominent.
Right. That specific character branding. Why is that detail important, do you think?
What makes it feel personal? It's not just generic party stuff. It says something specific about Dream. It gives that layer of authenticity, like this is what she's genuinely into, which makes the documentation feel less staged, paradoxically.
Good point. It validates her individual taste within the bigger family brand. Okay, so from the setting to the people, the source mentions a sweet video, Dream and True wearing matching t-shirts and party hats.
That matching element between the older cousins, 9 and 7, it creates this visual of sisterhood, of harmony, great visual continuity for the public.
And then the little Tatum?
Tatum was in red checkered pajamas, which is interesting, right?
Oh, how so?
Well, it adds a contrast. It brings in that touch of, toddler reality, spontaneity. It stops the whole scene from feeling too perfectly polished, too hyper-staged. It adds balance.
Okay, yeah, I see that. It makes it feel a bit more relatable. And the activity they showed.
Classic birthday stuff. The source says the trio, Dream, True, and Tatum, they danced, jumped up and down, clapped, spelled out happy birthday. Khloe was shouting the greeting in the background.
So capturing that shared ritual, that moment of collective fun.
Yeah. Right. And that's sort of the essence of what some call effective labor in this context. The effort put into showing closeness, showing genuine fun. They even included Chloe's voice, making you feel like you're kind of there.
But there was one specific moment highlighted right after that.
Yes, the hug. The source specifically notes Dream hugging Tatum and holding his hand.
That small detail. Why pull that specific moment out for the public record out of everything they must have filmed?
Because it's pure, undeniable evidence of affection, of nurturance between the kids. It anchors the whole, aesthetically pleasing party in something genuinely sweet and seemingly unscripted.
So it cuts through any other potential narratives.
Exactly. It bypasses discussions about parental dynamics and focuses squarely on the warmth and love within this next generation. It's powerful emotional proof that they are a functioning, loving unit. It's gold, narratively speaking.
Okay. So if we connect that emotional beat to the food choices, it seems just as curated. They moved right from the hug to the treats, and it wasn't just a big standard birthday cake.
No. Instead, we see a cake stand, but it's stacked with different donuts, and they had candles stuck in them.
Donuts. Why donuts, do you think?
Well, functionally, they're great for social media. Donuts are visually trendy, right? They're individual, easy to handle. You can fit more candles, maybe. And they stack nicely for a clean graphic photo. It feels like a catering choice that's optimized for being documented.
Interesting. But they didn't only show sugary treats.
Correct. They made sure to include a counterpoint. There was also a shot of a watermelon covered in blueberries and yogurt.
Ah, the health-conscious element.
Exactly. It provides that necessary balance. It signals responsibility, fits with the family's broader lifestyle brand that often promotes wellness, specific diets, that kind of thing. It ticks that box.
And the final visual described from the party itself.
That was Dream and True, sitting together, smiling, holding up peace signs against a pink happy birthday banner. Just a classic happy kid shot to round it off.
Yeah.
Every detail, even the peace signs, inventoried.
Okay, so that covers the visual performance, the staging, the activities, the food. Now let's shift to the written record, the emotional declarations. Chloe set the scene, but Kris Jenner, the matriarch, and Angela White, Dream's mother, they provided the big public statements.
Right, and these written tributes, often shared on Instagram grids or main feeds, they carry a different kind of weight. They're lasting statements about Dream's character, her place in the family.
Let's start with Kris Jenner. She just had her own birthday and then dedicated this post to her precious granddaughter, Dream.
And the language she uses is very comprehensive. She calls Dream a bright light, full of love, laughter, joy, amazing energy, the biggest personality.
Why that heavy emphasis on words suggesting charisma, energy, personality?
Well, you have to think about Chris's role,
Yeah.
right, as the sort of architect of the family brand. She seems focused on building Dream's individual, well, potential marketability, maybe. By calling her the funniest, smartest, most creative, and talented little girl, she's publicly stamping her with these positive, potentially star-making qualities.
So it's like an investment, validating her potential for the public record.
I think so, yeah. It's affirming her suitability to, perhaps, carry on the family legacy in some way down the line.
And she also really covered all the relational bases, calling her adored as a daughter, granddaughter, niece, sister, and cousin.
Yes, that cements her position. It leaves no doubt about her centrality, her importance within this large, complex family structure. It creates this powerful sense of belonging, ensuring everyone sees how integrated and loved she is.
Okay, now let's turn to Dream's mother, Angela White. Her message felt a bit different, less about brand potential perhaps, and more about deep personal guidance.
It definitely had a more intimate tone, even though it was public. She shared a carousel post addressed to Dream Renee and focused a lot on growth and authenticity.
She wrote that Dream brought a light that teaches me wisdom every day. That stood out to me.
That's a huge statement, isn't it? Elevating her 9-year-old daughter to a source of wisdom for her. It flips the usual parent-child dynamic. It's quite profound, publicly saying your child teaches you.
And the authenticity theme was really strong. Nurturing her authentic self, calling her brave, kind, and endlessly funny. But the part that really struck me was the specific instruction she gave.
Ah, yes. That was fascinating. She basically gave Dream this public charge, didn't she?
Yeah.
Please never lose the warmth in your hugs, the kindness in your words, or your fearless curiosity.
It's so specific, like a roadmap for character development laid out for everyone to see.
It really is. It functions almost as a public declaration of the values the mother prioritizes: kindness, warmth, curiosity, and it holds Dream, in a way, publicly accountable to aspire to those things as she grows up. It's quite a piece of public parenting.
It manages to blend what feels like genuine maternal love with this public statement of expectation, and then she ends it.
With "Let's party," all caps.
Which kind of brings it all back down to earth, right?
Exactly. It connects the deep, almost serious emotional weight of the message back to the immediate reality of a fun 9-year-old's birthday. It achieves that balance, again, sincerity, but also relatable fun. The perfect sign-off.
So, wrapping this all up, we went through this source material, this deep dive, treating it like an inventory. And what have we found? We know about the rose gold confetti, the Hello Kitty balloons, the donuts, the watermelon, and we know the very specific, very detailed words of love and affirmation shared by her grandmother and her mother.
And what the deep dive really confirms, I think, is that this wasn't just a party. It was a comprehensive, publicly documented act of, well, effective labor.
Hmm.
All those details, the matching shirts, the curated food, the lengthy, heartfelt messages, they all work
So
together.
create what
A
exactly?
cohesive public narrative. A story of profound affection, family unity, and positive attributes, all carefully constructed and put out there for the record. The party happens, sure, but the documentation feels like the real product here.
Which leads us perfectly into our final thought for you, the listener. Considering how thoroughly everything was documented, from the color of the confetti to the specific healthy snack to those incredibly detailed messages from key family members, what does this tell you? What's the main function of a birthday celebration like this in this kind of high-profile family context? Is the most important part the actual event, the memories made? Or is it the creation of this comprehensive visual, emotional inventory of love preserved for permanent public display? Something to think about.